Hello viewers, I hope you are doing well. As always, this is Patrick Egon and the channel is Story Teach Patrick Egon, and today we want to do a session on what inspires you. And we are privileged today to have a very great Madam Mary Burugu, and we want to know of her story. And maybe I can give you some background, but she's the best person to do that. But what I know about her, she is a teacher, she is a mentor, she is an entrepreneur, and she is an author. And in fact, I can see down the line we'll be having 3 books. But for now, we are talking about a Superwoman, which is quite performing very well. So we want to see what inspires you, Mary. So maybe take your time, 1 minute, to tell us about Mary.
Patrick, what else something else that you don't know, I'm also a farmer.
Hi.
I'm also a farmer. So you can imagine. You can see what I've been wearing. Eggs for a better life.
Oh, good.
I'm a farmer. So, and I feel good to be that. Mary is a teacher, as you have said. And in this journey, as I usually see, we have all the time. We are being given 24 hours a day. But the way you utilize your 24 hours, it all depends with you. There are hours that I'm supposed to be in school, I'm always in school. There are times that I need to rest, maybe it is weekend, I have something to do. There are times that it is at night. You know, you don't sleep for 12 hours, no. You can sleep 6 quality hours. Then the other hours, you're doing something. And that is why I became an author. Because my other 6 hours, I want to do something at night. Because I don't want to sleep and have cobwebs. Because you're sleeping.
Nice one.
Be awake. Yeah, my 6 hours, quality sleep. My other 6 hours, quality work.
Let's go to the beginning. In the beginning, there was Mary. So, where were you born?
Mary was born in Pasenga, that is Olkalau, Nyandarua County. That is where I was born. Those who know that small village called Pasenga, you know there were no roads. And that is where Mary was born. Going through kilometers and kilometers to make it to primary school. Those who know the head over Pasenga and Lolie, that road, and going to Pasenga Primary, it's roughly 3.5 kilometers. And that is where I was making like a small tiny girl in class 1. And I made it there for 8 good years. And out of that, there came a person who graduated and passed very well. I had 580 marks by then. We were having, I think, 600 and something. You can see how the scores were being registered. I had 580, and I made it. Where I went from there to high school, because of the challenge of my father passing on, I usually remember that and I say, oh my, why me? But out of that why me, it was the drive to take me to where I am. I went to Jenga Karume Secondary School. It was a day school. We had nobody to stay with at home. In a small house, we were staying with my sister. For the 4 years, nobody cooked for us, nobody washed our clothes, nobody fed us. We were the people to decide what we will eat. We were the people to go and fetch water. We were the people to pay for our school fees. And we made it. Yeah, Patrick, that is where we came from. Yeah.
Let's go back to Pasenga Primary School.
Yeah.
Tell us about it.
Pasenga Primary School, it is a school where, it is within a locality that people are not so much exposed. But one thing I like that village, values. You may get a boy along the road at night. That boy will ask you, where are you going? And will take you exactly where you are going. And will never question you. You may get a boy and a girl of late I may not know, but during that time, you could get a girl maybe late somewhere. The mother will tell the son, take this girl to her mother. And that boy will do exactly that. The manners was high. And if you did anything wrong in that village, you are a village boy, not your mother's boy or child. You are village
Boy.
So manners was there. And even today, I believe manners in Pasenga is there. If you get so many people, because I've gone up close, you will get elders, you get pastors, you get great men and women who have come from that small village called Pasenga. The mothers, or our indigenous parents, most of them had come from Nyeri and Murang'a. They had bought farms there from the whites. So they are big lands, and so every child was entitled to go and dig or go and cultivate lands. The place had no good network, road network, so you could walk for a long journey until you get a shop or a center or a school. So people used to walk, and that one also improved their health, because many people from that area, I don't think, they become sick easily. Also, the place is very cold. It is in Nyandalo, the slopes of Abadeas. It is very, very cold. The minute you get a tea from the fire, the minute you put it into a cup, it is cold. So they didn't know how to put the tea into it to become cold. You just take it from the fire, you drink it. By the time you are finishing, it is already cold. So in hotels, you usually say choma. Uchomewe hiyo chai. Imekuwa baridi, choma ilitoka kwetu jameni. Haikutoka Dodoni, ilitoka Nyandarua. Ukikunywa ikifika nusu si ni cold. Unachomewa na mo. Unaweza kunywa vikombe 3 na ulinunua mo. It was a good day.
So Mary, your toughest experience in primary school?
My toughest experience was walking from home to school. You have heard it is lovely 3.5 kilometers from home. And a tiny girl going through forest, going through that dew, and it is cold, and dew in Nyandarua, it is white. So you go into a forest, it is white because of the snow. And we could go barefoot, no shoe, and you are going to school like a small girl. Then get ready. You kneel down to the same dew, and you are beaten like nobody's business. Because that day, those days, it is the self-drive to go to school.
Okay. What do you want to be?
Currently, I want to be a good mentor, a good mother, and a person that people can admire. A person who they can look and say, this is the lady that we want to entrust our children to. I become a mentor where others will aspire to be like me, as I aspire to be like Jesus Christ. Yeah. And also, I want to become a person who know God, because God is the super. He is the one who created me. I want to become who God wanted me to be from the beginning. Because when God created me, like Jeremiah, he told Jeremiah, I knew you before you were born. I know God knows me before I was born. And he is going to make me meet my great purpose that he has given me.
It's good. You have even talked about the dream. So I wanted to take you back. What did you aspire to be in your Form 1, in your primary school levels?
During my primary school level, I really wanted to be a nurse. I really wanted to help. And even now I can see it. It came to be fulfilled. I work with vulnerable children, people who need comfort, parents who need comfort because they have disabled children. And so, that time I wanted to be a nurse. I knew nurses were smart, they were beautiful, they were calm, they were doing things at their own pace. no hurry. You never see a nurse in a hurry. So personally, at that early stage, I wanted to be a nurse. But do you know what, Patrick? Even today I'm a nurse. I work with vulnerable children. When you get me with them, holding them, I'm really nursing them. Even better than when I will be a nurse. So in my career as a teacher, getting these children who are vulnerable, I feel myself comfortable.
For those of us who don't know, Mary is a teacher in SNE.
Yeah.
So tell us about the experience of being a teacher in SNE.
A teacher in SNE, you must be a good-hearted, because these children need a lot of love. Some of them, they are from homes because they were thrown away by their parents because of their disability. So, as a teacher, you need to have that heart to have these children. Others are physically handicapped. Sometimes you need to carry them and take them to the next move. Unless you have that heart, a motherly heart, a heart to help, you can't be an SNE teacher. Many have come and they left it. They said, sikutarajia haya. But today, me, I'm happy as an SNE teacher. We get a lot of blessing. If you get a teacher who has that calling to be a teacher of SNE, you get that teacher playing with the children like Kati, and you may not understand. Currently, I'm in an MH, mentally handicapped school. And those boys, they come learning to you. You think, teacher being blessed, ukijana, I've got matope everywhere. And that is not our problem. You will have a problem, but me embracing my boys and my girls and eating together with them, it's not an issue. So, a teacher of SNE is a person who has that heart. Also, you must be a giver. Because they may ask you, buy mandasi for me, and in mentally handicapped. Utamwambia una, you have to buy. Somebody is sick, the parent came and dumped the child. Even no visitation in schools, because they are a burden to them. We will take. It is a privilege and a blessing to us. And in many times, we are blessed having those children.
Nice one. Women and leadership. You are a deputy head teacher.
Yeah.
How is it?
Women in leadership, it all depends with you and your decision. There are those who take it as a possession, and there are those who take it as a servanthood. Personally, in all leadership, I take it as servanthood. And I take it as a privilege I've been given by others to be the team leader as we are in the team. So when I serve, I don't serve because I know, I serve because we know. I serve because it is our responsibility, but not my responsibility. Because when it is us, we'll be able to move far. When it is me, I'll go very fast. So in my leadership, I usually take it collectively. And again, as a woman, you know you have an extra load. Because many times as a leader, I may take that leadership at home. I usually go home as a wife. I usually go home as a mother and do the work of a mother and do the work of the wife. Because when at home, the leadership is in the office. I differentiate leadership and personal roles. That is what I do. Even in my institution, I differentiate the roles and the leadership.
Nice one. You have taken me to the next question I wanted to ask you. You are multi-talented, multi-skilled in one way or the other. So how do you balance this, Madam Mary? Because I can see you are an elder in the Presbyterian Church. I can see you are an author, you are a teacher, you are a mentor, you are an entrepreneur, you are a business leader. How do you do all these things?
Patrick, let me tell you. You may not understand doing things until people tell you, you are doing. Many times even I don't realize I do those tasks. I get myself doing. And one thing I usually balance, because It is not that you must be there things to happen, but with your maybe coordination, teamwork, as I have told you, I usually believe in teamwork, I'll be able to achieve my goal. So in all ways, it's only planning. When you plan, you choose your task and you analyze them, you'll be able to achieve. Majority of people only work with only 20% of their time. The other 80% is waste, Patrick. If only we go up to 70%, you can imagine what Jesus was doing. Jesus was a teacher. Jesus was a mentor. Jesus was a preacher. Jesus was a planner.
Was
Jesus
doing
was
some
an
carpentry.
entrepreneur. He was also a carpenter. I know he was going home and helping the Father. So we take one role and we say, this is my duty. This is my work. Forgetting you have you have a lot of energy in you, and that is why we are getting sick. Because the energy with us, be taken to US. Will you have one job? Those people have gone to US or to other countries. They do even 3-4 jobs. Why here Kenya? You are only a doctor, a teacher, an engineer, and you are done. And I believe you have been my mentor, Patrick. You don't have one job. You are an engineer. You are an entrepreneur. You are employed in a company. You are an author. You have a Patrick, you have been my mentor. That is why you are making me. Yeah.
Okay, I want us to focus on two things. There is a group you have started in Presbyterian Church, the faith group. Then we have the innovators group for the youth. Tell us something about the two groups.
What the favorite group? I like it. May God help those ladies. When we started it, they started calling me mom, and I was almost the youngest. In between them, I was not really the youngest. In between, we had 2 or 3 who are older than me. Then I'm there. Then we have the young ones. We started when we had no children. You can imagine, and I'm being called grandma. So we were very young. Our motive was just to pray, and we said we want to grow and became aged graciously. And the only thing we knew which could make us grow graciously and become old, it is through prayers. So we started fasting, praying once a day, once a month, praying once a week, because of the challenges of young parenthood, because of the young ladies who have been married. And out of that play, up to today, we have those ladies who, majority of them, we have 4 of them are elders of the church. 4 of them. The others have served as deacons. And faith group is the one which has made me who I am. Because they started putting responsibility on me. You are our mom. Show us how to invest. We bought caprot here, caprot there, with the few coins we were having. Those who are staying in the same plot, we could tell ourselves, let us put our coins together. You have been left 50 shillings, na mimi 50, na wewe 50. We bring together, we go and buy maize together, and beans together, we cook githeri together, so that we save the 50, and we use the 100, we share the food together, so that in the evening, when the husband comes, food is there, but doesn't know that we have saved something. 50 shillings. That is when we grew. And today, faith group, there are people, almost all of them, they are staying in their houses, in their own built house, not because I don't want to degrade our spouses, but it is because of that seed planted.
Nice one. For the youth group?
For the youth group, I saw and I've seen this. Young men and women don't have anybody to mentor them. They are left alone to make decisions. Sometimes they make very wrong decisions because they don't have somebody to ask. And for this reason, one time I was made a patron for the youths, and I felt that I needed to bring these young men and women senses that they need not to depend with their parents. It was brought with a lot of opposition. I would say I would have sleepless night because people and these boys, young men and women were told, marry will destroy your life, marry will go with your money, marry will mislead you. But I want to thank God. Today, the favored innovators, they are in the fourth phase. Those young men and women already have bought plots, they have invested. There are people now who are working in millions. Not because they have. Majority of them are hawkers. Others are housemates. But monthly, we were covering 1,000 shillings. We started with 500. We started actually with 300. We went to 500. Today we are saving. We started saving 1,000. We invested in a circle, and out of that, you can imagine 30 people bringing 500. But
50,000.
15,000 per month by then. 500 for that is in 15,000. We deposited in the bank. Currently, we are contributing 4,000 per month per person. And we are 50. How many shillings are we depositing every month?
200,000?
Every month. No problem. And we are doing it. And we are doing it, but...
Hey, Mary.
We are doing it, but young men, I'm telling you, just the other day, one of the parents of that one young man brought a duvet for me and said, I fought you. I thought you are misleading my son, but my son brought me this thing. But he owns a plot now. Out of what he did, my son owns a plot. It was, I shed tears because that mama had really talked bad about him. But today, those young men and women, even those who are hawking, 4,000 every month, they must put it on the table. And you see them, they are there, doing very well.
Yes, you told me about the book launch. They'll be coming, eh?
They'll be coming.
Okay.
To make the book launch beautiful for the mother. All of them, they call me mom. They are good.
Mary the farmer.
Millie the farmer, out of these young men and women, I wanted to show them, though you are employed here in a kiosk, you can do something else. And we came together. We had to buy chicken, 50 of them, and we learned where to put them. By God's grace, I had a kashamba somewhere. We went and started laying chicks from there. And by the way, it went up to 1,000 chicks. We could sell eggs. It's only because of this hardship that came with the hike of feeding, feeds, that we withdrew kidogo, but we are coming back. So merely as a farmer, we are also investing in pigs. We have allowed now 20 pigs. We are doing it. We have cows. And so farming is my passion. I feel good when I farm. I feel good when I farm.
I saw your interview, KTN.
Yeah.
You're having a it was a farmers meetup, eh?
Yeah. I
think you are doing well.
Yeah, it was. I never thought. You know, but some of these things, they will meet you going. And somebody visited me, and when those people saw what I was doing, I was welcomed and invited as the guest during Eggs World Celebration Day. And by God's grace, imagine, I never knew anybody there, but I was told when I was coming, marching with my small grandson, our pastor of the day has come, and they don't know me, I am not, So I was told, Pastor, come and play for us. I prayed. Then later I was told by KTN, we are interviewing you. Just come, because we know who you are. And I was interviewed, and I was in KTN.
And I saw it.
God for that.
I saw it.
As I was talking about egg, as I was talking about proteins in egg, and how to feed our chicken, and how to take the business to the higher note, and even talking to the government to provide facilities for us. Thank you.
In that we are together. I'm in the poultry industry. By the way, I'm an engineer in the poultry industry.
Thank you.
Okay. A superwoman. You are an author. What inspired you into writing?
What inspired me into writing? I would say sometimes it's you just sleep, wake, and think something. I've been writing small script as I go to teach and train and mentor. Because I train leaders, I train women. I've been called here and there. So as I've been doing that and writing so many things, I met these evangelists who told me, put things into writing because you have a lot of content, you have a lot of knowledge, put it in writing. Evangelist Charles Washira. Then I met this parish minister. He was not my parish minister by then, but he was in another parish. Out of him, he started connecting me to different forums. Go and train these readers, go and train elders, go and train teachers, go and train my youth, go and introducing me to so many parish ministers. And that is how I came to write so much. Then afterward, he told me, all this content, put it together and do it in writing. And before then, there was a minister who nurtured my readership, the late Reverend Geshiga. He was a dad to me. He was so good to me. I was so fearful, Patrick. I never faced people. I never faced people. But this man took me through with a lot of encouragement, a lot of, telling me you have done it. You only need to be told you have done it, even when you have done it wrong. And somebody tells you, that was super. And you know very well, she has done nothing. But that man could tell me that. And for sure, he grew the seed in me in leadership. He is the one who identified this. And also, as I'm saying, the late John Chekachuro. He saw a seed in me. I remember one time we went into a district and he told me, Mary, though you are the deacon of this district. I became and he told me, you are going to preach. You know what I said? Who have ever read about the salt and the light of the world? And when I read those words, I said, you know what salt does? And you know what light does? And that is by the end of my preaching, those two words. And I said, and he said, let us clap for Mary. She has really preached. Who doesn't know what light does? Today we are working because there is light. Who has not eaten food with the salt? You know what salt has done. And that is the end of the sermon. And by the way, that particular day, we stayed in the district, Amaushirika, the cell home, for only 20 minutes because Mary preached 2 minutes. And John Cheka Joroge, the rate, never even emphasized on the preaching. It was done. And from there I started preaching. And I can preach. I can preach now. So that is how it started. I want to appreciate those guys. I want to appreciate Reverend Muhodo, who worked with me, who handed me over by Reverend Geshiga, the rate, and also Reverend Moibe. Currently we are with Reverend Nancy. I give God the glory. They have encouraged me, they have prayed for me, and I'm who I am because of the ministers we have walked the journey with, even the other ministers from other forums that have served the church.
It seems you read my mind. That was my second question after what I want to do here.
Wow.
So I want you to tell us about the Superwoman in 1 minute. If I want to buy this book, why should I buy it? And who is the intention of the book?
The Superwoman, just speak. It is a book written by Mary, and it is a book that separates the ordinary woman from the extraordinary. That ordinary woman from the extraordinary. You become extraordinary by the word extra. So this superwoman must do something extra than the normal woman. And for this woman, you must uplift the standard of your values, the standard of your doing things. You must uplift the way you interact with others, and you must make decisions that are proper towards life. Like when I want, there is something that I'm calling it think. As a woman, you have always to think. As we do them, we have to think. Think if your family is okay. Think if your interaction with others is okay. Think. And always when you think, the first letter is it true?
Nice.
Never speak a lie to anybody or to anything. Always be truthful.
So Superwoman goes for?
Superwoman goes for 500 shillings. It is all over in the country. We believe that it will empower many. It talks about, it will help women in identifying themselves and the area, and no woman is limited to do the extraordinary. If you take Ruth, he was limited, she was a widower, but she made a lot. If you look Esther, she was limited, she was an orphan, but she did a lot. If you look Mary, she was just a village girl, a virgin village girl, but she brought the Savior to us. If you look Elizabeth, Elizabeth was an old lady, but she was able to bring John the Baptist to prepare the way for our Messiah. So every woman have got a role to play, and this book is a book for us all. Let us go for it for men, buy it for your women, and also read it, because it is also beneficial to men. It have got a lot of them. It talks about purpose, it talks about interaction, intelligent, it talks about values, it talks about impact, it talks about gate, it talks a lot about so many things. So let us go for it, and it will help each one of us.
Thank you so much. So Mary, I want to give you this opportunity to speak to the destiny helpers. This is my reason. I've been listening to your life, and I can say it is grace after grace, but somebody saw the seed in you. So I want you to appreciate the destiny helpers of your life.
Allow me to appreciate the people who have walked the journey with me, starting with my mother, Grace Wairimo, who gave birth to this girl you can see today. Out of that small village, I've said, she has been with me. She has walked the journey with me. May God help her. She is old, but she is there, seeing what I'm getting into. Thank you to my late mother-in-law, Lahab Wajiro. She was a mother. She was a true mother. Though late, she was a true mother. The way Naomi went with Ruth and could encourage Ruth, that is what my mother-in-law did. She left a lot of blessing. When she was dying, she died into our hands, and I thank God that she was a mother. Out of her, there is Grace Wangari, her daughter, who took over the mantle. Grace, words cannot tell it all. You have walked the journey with me. You have encouraged me. You have walked with me in thin and thick. You, in all storms, you have been with me. May God bless you. To all my family members, you have been there for me. Even to my husband. Yeah, to me, maybe you may not see him in the face so much, but he has been helping me, even to go back to school and to do a lot. To let John Jega Jolole and the wife, they have been a pillar and a people to watch, and they have really helped me. Being a teacher, it was out of that man. Peterson Debo, you brought the church to our home, and you bought a pen for me. To all elders in Darugo, to all leaders, to members of Darugo PCA Church, and even Nakuru West Parish, where I started the journey before we became Amani Parish, I appreciate you guys. You made me who I am. The pen that you brought, it has come this far, and it is going far. It will never get finished until I go to the grave. To my late minister, whom I loved and I called Dad, late Reverend Gishiga, words may not say, but he was a man that I admired. To all the ministers I have interacted, some presbytery ministers, presbytery moderators, you have walked the journey with me. You have encouraged me, you have prayed for me. The parish ministers, you have prayed for me. Reverend Mohodu, my weak points, you know them when I started the journey of leadership. But you always told me, remember, you are a leader. Even today, Reverend Mohodo, you are a person I always say, may God bless you. May God bless Mom. He could call even at late hours, Mom, wife to Reverend Mohodo, and tell me, Mary, I want to pray with you because you are a leader. Though I did so many mistakes, you never left me. You walked the journey with me. May God help you. To all the other ministers, we have worked together, and we know it's only that you embraced me. To all the leaders we have interacted, we thank God for everything. To the church in general and our head office, where I have also tasted to be a leader there. You embraced me. You gave me a chance to be in the National Boundary Committee. I don't take it for granted. You also chose me to review the PP. I don't take it for granted. There are so many roles that you gave me, and surely I felt that I have people who identify the seed in me. It's my prayer, I'll never shame you. I'll walk the journey, and finally, let us make it to heaven, because God is waiting for us. As Paul said, I've learned the race, I've finished the race, and I'm waiting for a crown. How I pray that we learn the race, focusing into our God. We will make it. Though the storms are there, God is together with us. Thank you all who have impacted my life, without forgetting the author of this book, the Ishahal. They have walked the journey with me. The committee that are burning the oil and are praying to see the book go into the market, led by Elder David Wakari, Nancy, Joan, Grace. I'm humbled. Words cannot tell it all, but you have been a blessing to me. May God help you, and may God bless you. Thank you. To my children, you have walked the journey with me. You have been a pillar. Rahab, you have done it. Being the firstborn, you have done it. May God bless you, and may you also impact the world. You are a hero. You are the firstborn. Ben, Caroline, Grace, Andy, my grandson, you are the joy of my heart. You give me the strength. Adi, you are blessed. All the others, you are blessed. You have been a blessing to me. Thank you.
What a finishing. On behalf of all those you have served, I want to say thank you, Mary. Be blessed. Guys, it has been a great one. It has been an emotional one. But the journey remains. What inspires you? And are you the destiny helper to others? Until next time, stay safe. Thank you.